Sebastian. I'm going to teach you how to draw a Chinese dragon. So first off, there's so many different ways how you can draw a Chinese dragon. First off, you can start with the head. I prefer the head because it's the most easiest, obvious. Because I'm better at heads, and I like to start with heads because then you can just work your way down, on a book. But you can I'll do whatever. Some people like to go by the feet, some like to go by the whole body. But I think Chinese dragons are a lot easier because they have less, they have less details to control, and they're a lot easier. I mean, the heads could still be the same, but up to you if you want to have the, the same legs. But that's okay. But the same heads. There's a little different thing between the heads. Well, regular dragons don't have fur. I mean, some can, but it's just gonna look weird. And they don't have these right here, these little squiggly things. But those are like some of the different things about the Chinese dragon. The heads, but the body is, you always can tell what's different and what's not different. Because first off, Chinese dragons don't have wings, and full dragons do. So, since I don't have the pencil today, I don't have a pencil because I would moved on and start outlining the whole thing. Before when I started drawing it, I kind of took a 0.5 chemical pencil and a .7. To get a .5 to have those greater and thinner lines, and have a little thicker line to get all the shadows in. But that's how you want to go, and I don't care how you draw your dragon because it's not up to me, it's up to you. But still. But still, it doesn't matter how well you draw it, how good you draw it, or perfect. It doesn't matter. It's just, I'm just trying to teach you how to learn and show how to draw a Chinese dragon. But there's not a really specific way to able to draw it. It's just that I prefer to start off with head because it's the most easiest, and because if you start off with legs or body, then you don't really know how to go there then. Because if you start with the head, it's going to be a lot easier because you know actually how thin the dragon's going to be, how wide or small the head is going to be. But that's up to you. I honestly don't care what you do, but that's what I prefer. And starting off with the head, I mean, if you're starting with the head, always start with the eye because, the eye, because I think the eye is the most easiest, and you can see how wide the the head is. Because if you have a smaller jaw, it's going to look a little better. If you have a smaller eye, with a big jaw, it's going to look really weird. But if you have a big eye with a small jaw, it's still is going to look weird. But always, if you're trying to get like a perfect dragon or perfect Chinese dragon, always trying to keep your jaws the same. Because if you don't get the jaws the same, it's just going to look a little weird, and I don't think you guys want that. And so that's why I think you guys should always start with the head and have your jaws smaller and put your eyes smaller. But that's up to you. It's not how I want it. It's how you guys want it. But it's just your way. It's not my way. It's your dragon. Don't really care how you guys do it. Just that. It'll look better if you have smaller stuff. But if you don't have a 0.5 pencil, that's okay. It's just that you kind of want to have a little bit more of a thinner pencil. Thinner pencils able to get those like a really nice sharp pencils, or regular pencils.
Our work messenger?
All those sharp pencils, but that's up to you. If you don't, no, I prefer to use a 0.5 mechanical pencil because it's gonna be more better. But yeah, okay. Since I kind of talked a little bit more about the head. Okay, so now let's go to the feet because I think the feet was a little hard for me. And so if we turn the like this, probably so it was like this, and we turn it like that. Well, first off, you kind of want to start with the circle, and of course, when I started off, I would kind of erase the circle, but you still kind of see it there. But you kind of go, but that's up to you. If you're good at legs, don't do it then. I kind of have a little trouble with doing legs, but I kind of just make it nice, thin, mine or thick. The whole reason why I did a huge bone because that's the muscle, and sometimes you make it better. You always want to have those smaller muscles. So of course, try and get those little like little those. Some of the times those smaller details can come in really handy and make stuff really good. So if you see me adding some few things, that's okay because I'm just trying to add a little bit more detail. But that's up to you. If you don't want to add much detail, or if you're just trying to learn, just don't add a detail. But I've been doing this for a while, and so I don't think I. Okay, since okay, so this is where a lot where I kind of get stopped at. So get stopped because some of the feet to me gets a little hard. So if you're trying to make it like nice, almost like 3D, and kind of just bring the middle toe back of a little bit more back from the starting of the last toe, same with the first toe, because I think it looks more real if you do it like that, but that's up to you. So that's definitely up to you, but I prefer to do that. Okay. So since we kind of did talk about the legs there, so when you're doing the legs, if you want to get more of those shadows, just go with a Sharpie or something, a really thin tip Sharpie, or just kind of pen, because I'm kind of using like a pen right now, so trying to go over that and trying to level it out. But since the video is almost getting done, I'm going to try and talk about the body. So with the body, it's a little different, but there's two ways that it could go. You could start with the top where the scales are, or actually the other side of the scales. I usually start with the other side of the scales first because then you actually get how thick the body is and how wide the head is really close to it. And so that's one of the key words, is how thick and how wide. Some people like to go really thick, but if you're going to do it on a small sheet of paper like this, and compared to a large sheet, if you're doing a large sheet, of course, you want to have the larger head, larger legs, and a larger background. No, only if you don't want to add a background, but I prefer it looks so much better with the background. If you have a smaller sheet, just don't add too much background because I think the dragon's not going to pop up a lot more. But with a smaller sheet like this that I'm working on right now, you always should have a smaller head, smaller eyes, smaller jaws, smaller feet, and of course. Okay, so yeah, of course, there's always one more thing, um, to always add what you need to add. Of course, if you see on the third leg down here at the bottom compared to the five laying on the background, there's not a fourth one. Because I couldn't draw the fourth one. I don't know why. It just kind of just looked really weird to add a fourth one for some reason why. And so I just kept it as 3 because I was going. It looks better if you had 3 because it looks like their dragon has been in a battle and lost a leg. But yeah, I could go with that, or you guys could go with that. I think that would look so much better or sound better. But now we're actually going to work on the body. And so, one thing to do the body is always go thin on the out body, because you don't really know what you are going to draw. Because when I first started this one, I didn't know what I was going to draw because I've been doing these for a while. Some people don't really know how to draw these as well, and that's why I'm doing this tutorial to make you guys better. So I kind of watch a lot of videos to get myself better. I'm still trying to get better at drawing the dragons, but I'm still practicing too. But I'm probably a lot further than what you guys know, but that's on my level. But if you're good like me, you it's gonna be so much easier. But yes, okay, so we're going back to the same, so it's not upside down to you guys. Well, for the scales, well, you just saw me do like some of the body, but for the tail, no, not the tail, but the scales. I didn't add the scales. I add the belly because to do the scales is going to take so much longer, and I did not want to show that on a video because I think that would take way too long. And so with the belly, here we go. Okay, so first up, you always want to go with the outline of the belly first, because you know how long you need to make your lines, and yeah, so there. So since we got most of that done, I know there's still a whole lot more to go, but I'm not going to show you the whole thing on video. But so when you're going to do these, kind of start them always draw them at an ankle, especially on turns, because I think they'll look the best and it gets more like it looks more, it's a little bit more real than having them straight. Other than that, I said over the years I've been doing these. So always keep especially on a straight line, of course, keep your line straight. But if you're on the curve or I don't know, a bend coming out the outside where it shows the body with the belly, always actually spread your ones out, because they're spreading out compared to getting closer. On a tied in, like by the neck, they're getting closer, but when you're going away, like down here by the feet, you kind of want to gradually kind of wider space between them, and so that's always a good reason why to have your dragon almost look real. That's why this one is pretty much darn close to getting almost real. Just haven't yet. It's just that it just takes more time if you're trying to get more real. don't have the stuff to be able to make this real, so that's why you see pencil instead of marker. Because usually, if I would be doing this, I would be using marker. But I don't have my markers today, so I kind of just did it with pencil and, of course, a pen. But that's up to you. If you prefer markers, go markers. But there's only one type of markers that I would use, and it's they're absolutely amazing. I just don't know the name at this moment, but yeah. Oh, I prefer to use markers, and that's the whole point. That I don't have my markers here, and I'm really bummed that I don't have my markers here. Okay, so since we kind of got done with the body, and before we brought this up, I'm gonna start doing like the hair, because the hair could be a little tricky because it could come in different forms and shapes and sizes. So that's why I'm gonna take you on to this little tutorial on hair. Okay, so first off, you can see that there's pencil of the hair marks everywhere because they're bumpy and they're jagged. Because hair's not perfect, of course. Hair's not perfect in so many different ways. But I'm going to start here by the horns, and I found kind of draw them into rough shapes. And if you're not good at rough shapes, then don't make it. Just don't make the hair. But yeah, I'm just going to draw it over the pencil line. I'm trying to get the one, and of course. So since we're almost done with this video, so yeah, there's one more thing. It's a little hard to if you're recopying what you own, because sometimes with that size of the jagged edges, it could be really tough. I mean, it could be really tough because obviously I was still struggling a little bit because I'm not really doing the whole drawing thing because I'm just showing you guys how to do one. But I really was going back to do that, and you see me both my hands up on the piece of paper and actually focusing really hard. But since this video is almost wrapping up, please, if you don't know how, just keep practicing, and yeah, have a good day.